Hello, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Stuart and classical record collector here. I've received a box of eBay records from one of the sellers that I regularly buy from, and I'm going to be unboxing those, or rather I've unboxed them already, but I'm going to show you what I bought. So first of all, I made a video 2 days ago about a trip I took around Nottingham. I went into 3 record stores and only bought one record. So anyway, this is the record that I bought. If you've seen that video, you'll know already, but I thought I would just show for those of you who haven't seen it. So yeah, there we are. Blondie, Plastic Letters. I'm a bit of a Blondie fan. I grew up listening to this group in the 70s, and I had all the records at one time. I had all 5 classic Blondie albums. That's Blondie the album, Plastic Letters, Parallel Lines, Eat to the Beat, and Auto American. They're the albums I'm interested in, nothing else. And there's the back of the record. This one is in absolutely superb condition. I mean, the jacket is almost in mint condition, and the record is pretty good as well. I've had a listen to it. I paid £6 for it, and I was really happy to find that, because I know on eBay for a record in this condition, Plastic Letters would be like £15–20. So I think that was a bargain. So I've got 2 of the Blondie albums now. I've got Eat to the Beat and this, and I'm hopefully going to get all of them eventually. So there we are. Let's move on to the classical records that I bought. Yeah, I received these through from an eBay seller yesterday. So first of all, we've got this record here. It's RCA, Bach. We've got 2 violin concertos and a concerto for violin and oboe, and the soloist is Takayoshi Wanami on violin and Goossens on oboe. I've heard of Goossens, I've not heard of Wanami, and as some of you may know, I sort of collect violinists, so I'm really interested in unknown violinists that have made recordings on labels. So this is one which I thought I had to have, plus interesting London Mozart players. You don't often see them on vinyl. So I used to know somebody who played for the London Mozart players, so I've got a sort of personal connection, and I wanted to have this. It says actually on the back, a Chandos production, which is a bit surprising. Seems quite early for Chandos. I know they were a big label in the 80s. This record is from 1979, so I'm not too sure. I presume that Chandos made the recording and, I don't know, licensed it to RCA. So there we are. There's a good record. Let's keep going. Here's the next one. Now this one here, it's I bought this because I've never seen it before, or I might have seen it but forgotten about it, but it's sufficiently unusual and attractive for me to buy it. The lineup of performers is absolutely superb. We've got Perlman, Bourlet on piano, and we've got the Juilliard String Quartet. So 3 absolutely fabulous artists. Chausson, which is a concert for violin and string quartet, and piano, I think, yeah. So that should be really interesting. It is digital, CBS. The original sleeve is in there. Not that that matters a great deal, but it's nice to see it. Just have a look at the back of the record. There's no picture of the artist, which is a bit of a shame. I think it would have been nice to see it, but nevertheless, I didn't get that for a cheap price. Actually, I paid quite a bit for it compared with what I would normally pay, but I put a big bid in for it because I was determined not to lose it, and it went for my maximum bid. So anyway, there we are. I won't say how much it was, but it was more than £5. Okay, now I don't usually buy menuing, but I couldn't resist buying this because it's 2 very good symphonies. Mozart K201 in A major, one of the great early symphonies, and we've got Haydn Symphony number 49, 2 lovely pieces of music. Menuhin is conducting the Bath Festival Orchestra. So, and of course it's on an ASD. I'm expecting the sound quality to be excellent on this record. The label is actually what I call a semicircle dog. It's an early label for this record. There's no white and gold. It's ASD 595. So I paid £8 for that, which I thought was a good price for this record, and the jacket's in absolutely excellent condition. So yeah, that one's really pleasing to get. Next one. Now, I don't often pay £5 for a concert. What is this? Sorry, concert hall. That's a concert hall record. They don't often pay £5. They don't often pay more than £1 for concert hall. But I've not seen this one before, and it's got something quite interesting on it. So it's got the Brahms double concerto, and it's got Schubert rondo and A major for violin and string orchestra. The Schubert rondo is really why I bought it, and again, unusual violinist Igor Azim. So yep, I didn't mind paying £5 for that. It's stereo. It's a good thick sort of record. So I'm pleased with that. And we've got one more. We've got two more to come now. I'll leave the best till last. Here we are. What we've got here is Brahms, the great violin sonatas. Is it all three of them? Yeah, they managed to get all three on one record. Well done. All three violin sonatas on one record. Joseph Suk and Julius Katchen. There is an SXL equivalent of this. This is obviously the reissue on Ace of Diamonds. It's quite a late Ace of Diamonds. It's SDD 542. It is an English pressing, although it feels a lot thinner than a lot of the earlier Ace of Diamonds. But nevertheless, I'm pleased to have this. So I think I paid about £4 for that. And finally, I like to sometimes experiment and buy music which I've never heard before. And if the record sort of takes my fancy because of even just the jacket or something like that. So this record here, when I saw this, I thought that looks unusual. What is it? I had a look. It's Franz Bruggen playing block flute, which is the recorder, and the composer Louis Andriessen is playing a piano. So it's two pieces for recorder and one piece for recorder and piano, and the other piece is for recorder and chamber orchestra. I've had a listen to it. It sounds very avant-garde, very experimental, and the piece called Melody is piano and flute, and the piano and flute are playing identical notes throughout the whole piece, and it does sound very unusual, but it's very interesting to listen to, and I'm glad to have this record. There's also inside, just show you the back of it. It's a Dutch record. It's a Dutch label called Attacker Records, and this record was made I think in 1986, but it's a 1984 recording. And inside we've got some information. There's a card, and there's some information there from the composer about what inspired her to write these pieces, or him or her, I'm not too sure. And just have a look at the record, because the record is in absolutely pristine condition. There's the label anyway. Yeah, the record's in pristine condition. I've played it, and I'm telling you, I mean, the surface and everything like that, you'd almost think a CD was playing if it didn't sound so, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like vinyl, but it sounds as clean as a CD. So, although having said that, most of the records in my collection, I don't have issues with crackles, pops, anything like that, background noise, nothing at all, mainly because I only have records in my collection which are in superlative condition. So I've had people on my channel saying, oh yeah, I like vinyl too. You know, those crackles and those pops, they really bring back the good times. No, they don't bring back the good times for me. In the 70s when I was buying records, I was trying to avoid crackles and pops, and I try to avoid them now. I only listen to virtually pristine records, or if it's rare, then, you know, I've got some tolerance level. But, you know, 90% of the records in my collection, if you put them on, you might be forgiven for thinking that you're listening to a CD. So I disagree with people when they say that one of the attractions of vinyl is all the crackles and the pops. No, it's not for me. It may be for you, but not for me. I just like to listen to the music. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for supporting my channel, and I'll be back again soon. Goodbye for now.